my friend and welcome back to my channel. My name is CaitlinAnwyn for anyone who's new here, and let's get into another speed build. And today I thought I would do a Hispanic History Museum with the objects from the latest update. I really liked how colourful everything was. So this build is in Oasis Springs because I thought that would be quite nice to have something that kind of represented more Hispanic places. And I'm just doing a renovation on this museum that's already here called The Future's Past. And this is going to be a base game only build. So anyone can download this and pop it into Oasis Springs. And I was kind of inspired by how colourful everything was that came with this update. So I wanted to make this building kind of colourful. So for the exterior I went with green, pink and blue. I was just trying to pull out some of the colours that were in those big artworks that came with it. And the exterior walls wasn't really as bright as I'd hoped they'd be, but I was sort of imagining that this paint could have been like sun bleached because it's in Oasis Springs. It's probably like been there quite a while. It is a history museum, and maybe like the colourful paint has now been like sort of sun bleached. And I kind of wanted this to feel a little bit more open than having all of those glass windows. So I used the archways to make the bottom floor kind of open air. If you got seasons, Oasis Springs tends to be quite hot. So it's nice that maybe they'd have a like nice breeze going through the ground floor. And I found all of the Hispanic history objects. That's what I'm gonna kind of call them, the new objects from the update, outside, so I could easily find them again, because you can't just search for that. Let me know what you think of this like update. It's kind of nice that we've got more representation in the game again. So the game's not just American, which is kind of nice. But I can't really comment on the representation without saying about the absolute disaster they had with the fixing of skin tones for this update. Definitely watch Plumbella's video, Jessie's video, about the skin tone updates. I think she put it really, really well. And I guess we're just waiting until December now for that to be all fixed. But yeah, kind of a disaster, that update, but the objects were cool. And because I was building with base game only, I kind of wanted to try out this trick that I'd seen on Twitter, I think, where people have found like a cheeky way to get out of those ugly posts in the middle. So I thought it was just like putting a wall where the post is, and that'll like get rid of it. But the only way I figured out how to get rid of those posts in between was creating like little rooms, so each individual square has to be a room to get rid of the posts out of the fence. And the shape of this building is kind of odd. It's not like even at all. So it's kind of hard to get things centered in that bottom floor. And I'm not really sure why the staircases are so wide. It's kind of funny going back and having a look at some of the original builds that came with just like base game. I think on release we had Oasis Springs and Willow Creek, right? So this is like practically an original build. So yeah, sorry there's no webcam on this video today. The weather is super dark and miserable in Wales at the moment, and I need to get myself a new light for my webcam because it is super dark and my one ring light that I've had for almost a year now is just not quite bright enough. I've been spoiled with lovely sunny bright weather all summer, and now it's kind of dark and miserable outside. Kind of fitting for October, but it's not so great for recording videos, unfortunately. So I'm on the hunt for like a good light that's not super expensive. When you search for like YouTube lights, you automatically get those Elgato ones that everyone uses, but I'm just a little YouTuber that doesn't have AdSense, so I can't afford those Elgato lights. Got any suggestions if you're a creator too and you found like some nice bright lights that are reasonably priced, definitely let me know. I've been searching on YouTube and I've seen Philips Hue lights, which are kind of similar to those Elgato ones because you can sort of change them to any color, but they're kind of expensive too. So this floor I've gone for the Day of the Dead objects, and I know this is a Mexican holiday, but I thought this would go quite nicely with the Hispanic history stuff. So it's got its own floor, and I really love these like flowery walls. They're really colourful and I love the texture of the flowers. And the statue that I've sized up to put in display on those like little diagonal windows is the Katrina doll. And I thought the description was super interesting. It said, "My mother never allowed herself to be photographed, though I recall she looked quite a lot like the Katrina doll." And it says Bonehilda. And that really made me laugh because we still don't have Bonehilda in The Sims 4. I instantly thought of Flambella with that. Justice for Bonehilda. It's a very pretty statue. I've used it for the front of the museum as well. And now on to the Hispanic history floor, I guess, with all of the new objects. The pots, jars, I don't know, whatever they're called, are super pretty. There's loads of different swatches and loads of different colours. I kind of wanted them to match in with the artwork I placed, and I thought it'd be nice to have this floor have the painting easels, so maybe your Sims could paint some of the Hispanic art up on this floor. And because we only had chairs and we didn't technically have benches with this update, I kind of merged the dining chairs together to look more like benches. And I think it kind of works. It's cute. I love how colourful all of these are. If you really want like a rainbow home, these dining chairs and the dining tables are awesome for that. And these are just kind of benches so Sims can sit and look at the artwork. Kind of wanted this to look more like a museum, and there's a lot of like seating in museums, so you can just sit and look at the pretty walls basically. I want to use the available space as much as I can, so I've made this more of a balcony and like a picnic patio area so Sims can grill up the new food that came with the update as well, the Hispanic food, and chill out with friends and family underneath this really cute pagoda. I love this. I wish they came with like those separate climbing plants though. I want those climbing plants for just like outside walls and stuff. Like that is so cute. And for this bottom floor, I wanted this to be more of a cafe area rather than have more art pieces, because I've kept this more open with all of those archways. I thought it'd be nice to have a cafe and bar area here. But the building isn't quite even. The bathrooms aren't placed directly in the center of the square. So it was kind of difficult to make the bar area or like that desk area fit nicely and evenly in the space. And I couldn't quite decide what colour I wanted to make the bar as well. Very indecisive about this area. I totally had a picture in my mind for the like museum part, but I wasn't quite sure about this part, as you can probably tell with the building. But I wanted to make more use of the dining tables and all of the different swatches, so I've made this quite colourful. I've picked loads of different swatches for the tables and chairs, like 2 different colours of chairs for each table. I didn't want it to be super busy, but also wanted it to be kind of colourful, just to give you like more of a hint as to what the theme of this museum is. So I wanted everything to be super colourful and bright, because these objects are really nice and colourful. I say colourful a lot in this video. I'm definitely out of practice with this. I haven't played Sims in over a month. Basically, since they announced that the Star Wars pack was being released, I was like, nah, and didn't switch the game on. I've been very addicted to playing Tell Me Why, and even though I haven't fully posted all of the Tell Me Why playthrough yet, I have actually completed the game myself. I'm a little ahead. So yeah, it was kind of nice to get back into building in The Sims. This has always been like my favorite part of The Sims, is building and being creative with that. And these objects definitely did inspire me to do something kind of out of my comfort zone, which is super fun. I'm definitely more of like a white and pink builder. They are my colors usually. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this build. There's a few finishing touches here and there to add some more interesting items into the build, like the Sugar Skull collection I've popped in on the Day of the Dead floor, shall we say. And there's a few different activities for your Sims to do once they come to visit this history museum. I have got this up on the gallery. As I said before, this is base game only, so anyone who's got the Sims can place this down. I thought it'd be nice to do a base game only build for a change. I usually do limited packs, but I don't always do base game builds. I enjoyed building in Oasis Springs for a change too. Like, that was kind of fun to be in a different map. And let me know what you thought of the update. Clearly the skin tones were a disaster, but the objects were cool, in my opinion anyway. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it off there. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, and if you haven't already and you would like to, it would mean a lot to me if you could subscribe and hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!